Hi everyone, Fusion Cell here, and I'm about to play LA Noire. I am doing the white shoe slaying case in the homicide division. There it goes. So I think this is the fourth case that I've done in the homicide track, I guess. I didn't know what else to call it.
Good morning, gentlemen, and what a grand morning it is, too. We have just cause for celebration. Galloway and Phelps are sending another fiend to San Quentin. A nice showy trial, and he'll be strapped down with gas seeping into his tiny reptile brain. Now, to fresh business. Galloway and Phelps, the task is at hand. The address is on the hill, north downtown off Fremont Avenue.
Skipper, is the new letter genuine?
Now, boys, we all know how many imbeciles have confessed in the short case. Ray Pinker will let us know in good time.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
I think I remember this being a really long case.
That's the guy from the papers.
I'm not sure.
Indeed. We keep locking them up, but the bodies keep piling up.
Californians love a fad, Phelps. As long as the bricks hold up at San Quentin, there'll always be killers in this town to send there.
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear of germs?
Oh, there's weather.
Greetings from sunny California.
Oh wait, there's a nicer car somewhere. Some lag issues here. I'm gonna turn around because the destination
First
is
the
behind
letter,
me.
and now another body. Come on, you can't keep on telling me there's not a killer still out there.
You know, Phelps, all these arrests on your record are giving you a reputation. You don't want them turning into unsolved.
Getting a vicious killer off the streets is more important than my reputation.
Really?
And besides, landing a big fat marlin is more impressive than an ocean full of minnows.
The minnows maketh the man, Phelps. You can't always hit home runs. Sometimes you just gotta make first base.
Oops,
Phelps!
I was getting distracted by the water trail the car was leaving behind. The tunnel should have been dry, so... I know, I'm kind of weird getting distracted by stupid things. I don't notice the driving being affected by the weather. Not as much as it did in Mafia 2. Okay, so I gotta find a way to go left. Is there one coming up? I guess you go up here, right?
That guy there will lead us up.
Oh, I kind of remember
Stealing
this.
myself for what I'm about to see.
That'll just be another dead body, Tony. Get used to seeing it. You're the gig when you work in homicides, Phelps.
Detectives?
Phelps and Galloway, homicide.
Scene is secure. The rest of the patrolmen are going door to door, canvassing for witnesses.
Thanks. Keep me informed.
Will do, Detective.
This looks awfully familiar.
I think that's the impression the boys from the Examiner took with them as well.
There's nothing original under the sun. Why should murder be any different?
What do we have so far?
Not much trace evidence to speak of. Storm blew in around 10 last night, and the rain washed most of it away.
And the body?
Looks like she was tipped out of an automobile from the tire tracks and superficial injuries. Strangled with a length of rope. And for my money, it's triple braid again.
Time of death?
From her temperature, maybe 2 a.m., but it was cold last night.
Usual head injuries.
Blunt force trauma. Knock him over the head, then strangle and mutilate. No message with this one.
At least she was left clothed.
I doubt very much he was concerned with her dignity.
The green silk dress is very distinctive. Any sign of her other shoe?
No. And no handbag or other personal effects.
So this one isn't naked.
There appears to be a dry cleaning label. Superior Laundry Services, F1363. I think I've seen it all.
No rings on the phone?
No drag marks. The killer was moving around, surveying the scene.
Nothing significant.
But it's $5. You could buy a lot back then.
Our driver and our killer are most likely one and the same.
Could have had a separate driver. I don't know.
Detectives, I've been working the houses across the street and up the block. This lady thinks she has something for us.
Detective Phelps, LAPD.
I'm Mrs. Barton, Catherine Barton. I live just across the way.
Did you see anyone around here last night?
Not last night, but yesterday, early evening, I saw that awful hobo.
Do you have a description?
Tall, gaunt, horribly disfigured. I think he may have had an accident in the war. He's a very scary, angry man.
Any idea where we might find him?
One of the hobo camps around here. He's some kind of hobo leader. They all follow him around.
Thank you, ma'am.
It says hobo camp. I liked how it said the new
Anything I can
suspect
do
was
to
a
help.
hobo.
I'd hate to
It's
think
kind
that
of
something
funny.
so ghastly could happen right here and nothing be done about it.
I'm at a loss.
I'd say call it in. R&I might have something could get us started.
Where'd the phone go? Oh, it's right behind me. Ah. Hate when it does the cutscenes and then I have to reorient myself.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
Gets to yell on the phone too.
How can I help, Detective?
I need an address on Superior Laundry Services.
Just a moment. Laundry Services, 1260 West 1st Street.
Can you track down reports of hobo camps in the vicinity of Signal Hill?
Just a moment, Detective. There's a large camp under the bridge on Grand between Temple and Sunset.
Thanks for your help.
Okay, so I guess I go to the hobo camp first.
I think we ought to investigate the hobo lead.
Well, if you think we ought to, I guess we ought.
Large vagrant camp. Oops. Oops.
Hey, come on!
Ah, come on. Am I stuck? Okay, there you go. There's, I'm looking at the GPS too, so I'll probably end up crashing into someone. That guy had to walk quite a way though. It's not just like... Oh man.
At least the rain stopped. You can change back into those white bucks now.
I was under here. How am I supposed to get here? Can I climb this? Okay, well I guess I go back to the car and figure out a way to get down there. I should look for another cool way. Oh, I was gonna drive off of the rails, but...
Always bother. Leave me alone. I fought. Where's my wife? Nobody cares about me. I took a bullet.
We're looking for a tall man with a disfigured face. You know him?
Huh? What? I fought in 2 wars, you know, son. I think I earned some peace and quiet. The bum isn't here. Look at these people. We should follow the lead. These guys can wait. I don't know who you're looking for, and I don't want to know.
Calling you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear of germs? Slow down!
Is it him?
An Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman walk into the bar. The bartender looks up and says, "What is this? Some kind of joke?" You streak of piss.
I'm supposed to talk to this guy?
I'm stumped. Ideas? We still got the laundry label to check off. What's your beef with this guy, Phelps?
I didn't mean to push him. I was just trying to see if that was the guy. Oh man, that's pretty bad. Anything back here?
What I missed?
A lot of these you can't really interact with. Thought he'd be able to climb up this.
Phelps, leave him be.
I'm using the space bar to interact, but no, it's not. It's not letting me interact other than pushing people around.
That cop. That seems like a decent guy.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Did you read about the woman who stabbed her husband and pushed him in front of the car? That's the cop that caught her. You can't do this.
This isn't.
What are you, liquored up?
Junk.
Why did it zoom in on it though?
Wrinkled was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
Are you drunk, mister, or are you just cracked?
Tell a man that there are 400 billion stars and he'll believe you. Tell him a bench has wet paint on it and he has to touch it.
She wants a 5-star goddamn wedding.
Oops.
Why is the word abbreviation so long?
You can't do
That's
this!
disgusting. Didn't you ever hear of germs?
Did you read about the
What's
woman
your beef with this
stabbed
guy,
her husband
Phelps?
and pushed him in front of the car? That's the cop that caught her. What are you, liquored up?
It's like the only space that you can explore, but there's nothing in here. It's so weird.
Slow down.
I don't know, this isn't really getting me anywhere.
Wrinkled was not one of the things I wanted to be when I grew up.
Is that the one that we're supposed to talk to? I have no idea. It was pretty funny that you got pushed. Oh. Oh. Alright.
No message.
Excuse me?
There was no message.
Where?
On the Vic. The last bodies had something written on them. This one didn't.
I'm failing to follow you.
Can't be the same guy is what I'm saying, right? Before you start trying to link this to Maldonado and all the others.
There are more factors to consider than the messages, Rusty.
This doesn't fit your pattern, Cole. End of conversation. Understand?
It's pretty funny that he's realizing now that it's not one person, or not the... I mean, it's one person, but it's not the ones that they've arrested. And all the other ones, he's been like, it's one guy only. We got the guy. Let's do our job. Yada yada. And he's taking it back, sort of. But the only difference this time is that he's right. There's nothing written on the body. Oops.
Hey!
Okay.
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. We're investigating a case, and one of your laundry labels came up. F1363.
If you give me a minute, I'll go find a register and you can take a look. You take a look for yourself. I've got clothes that need pressing.
You wrote the number down on that dress, is it there?
Who's the address? Ha! No, that's not it.
Mrs. T. Terrelson, 43 Emerald Street, Westlake.
Can you talk to the guy again?
I better get back to this.
Okay. Just come in and look at his register and call it good. Man, the car's looking dirty.
I've got a feeling we're about to meet another wife killer.
You've always got that feeling, Rusty.
Yeah, and it's usually correct.
Please, please, for once, can you not let your assumptions color your detective work?
Just you wait. Nordic types show a particular disposition for this stuff.
Like the war all over again.
That looks like one of the Sims 4 doors.
Hello? Yes?
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. Is your wife home, sir?
My wife went out last night and she hasn't come home.
Can you describe your wife and what she was wearing?
We were out at a friend's place, Bobby Ross's, for a party. She was kind of dolled up. She had her green silk dress, open-toed white shoes. Those are her favorite shoes.
Can we come in, Mr. Tarleton? I'm afraid we have some rather bad news. Do you have someone who can look after your children, Mr. Terrelson?
I've been trying to arrange a sitter. Look, tell me what's happened.
I'm afraid your wife was murdered last night. Her body was found this morning. We're very sorry for your loss.
Right in front of the kids, too.
I know this is a difficult time, Mr. Terrelson, but we are going to need you to answer some questions. First, we're going to take a look around.
What for? You don't think that...
It's procedure. You see to your girls.
And those girls look like they want to flip them off, too.
Stay here till Daddy's finished talking to these men.
Where's Mommy?
Everything's gonna be all right, sweetheart.
We would like Mommy to come home now, Daddy.
What's the problem, Terrelson? Let him search. You got nothing to hide. You want to hear something funny, Terrelson? Some bums think filling out a missing persons report actually rules them out as a suspect.
We need to check if she was a regular. If you'd excuse me, ladies.
It doesn't appear to be connected.
So she went out without her handbag? At least she was spared that particular indignity. She'd have to be in quite a state to leave this behind.
I wonder when they started moving towards having photo IDs on your driver's license.
We can see if Pinker can match the impression to the crime scene.
Anything back here? Oh, look at the doghouse. Alright. I don't really see anything back here. Wait, what is that?
Don't think this is anything. It would take a smarter man than me to connect that.
Isn't he the cop that won a medal for solving all those cases?
Looks like a match with the ligature marks. Lars was out in the rain last night.
How come it didn't jingle when I walked by it the first time?
I'll be out of your way momentarily, ladies.
Seems irrelevant. Maybe if... No.
Another purse?
Not much help.
Hmm.
bar again. Someone must be real sweet on this dive. I wonder why the picture was turned down.
Must be it. The plant did it. Okay.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Can you run an address for a Bobby Ross? Then send some uniforms over.
Would you like him picked up?
No. Suspect says he was with Ross last night. We need to confirm the alibi.
I'll get a prowl car dispatched.
Thanks. For the record, Mr. Terrellson, what is your wife's name?
Teresa.
Do you have any idea why anyone would want to hurt your wife?
No. Everyone loved Teresa. She was so full of life. It can't be anyone who knew her.
So you
Dang
don't know
it.
anyone who would want her dead?
No, I don't.
You said you went to a party at Bobby Ross's place?
That's right. Bobby had a bunch of people over. We were having a good time. She said she was bored and decided to leave.
You let your drunk wife leave the party and go off on her own?
Look, I was angry. I was having a good time. She has to go and ruin it. We always have to do what she wants to do. Last night she wanted to go dancing.
Any idea where?
Where she always goes. A bar down on North Beaudry Avenue. Barron's Bar. She goes there, drinks too much, gets maudlin, and calls me. I go and bring her home.
Mr. Terrellson, was Teresa happy at home?
Yeah, I think she was.
Do you have anything to prove that she wasn't?
Spill it, Terrellson. We like the look of you for this, so you better give us something.
We're at the party. She has a few and says she wants to go out dancing. We only have the sitter until 9. I get mad. I tell her to go ahead, but I'm staying. She storms out. Look, I'm doing well at cards. I hardly ever do well. I married her because she was so much fun, but now she drives me fucking crazy.
What time did she leave the party?
About 8:30, maybe a little earlier.
When was the last time you saw your wife?
Around 8:30. The card game at Bobby's was wrapping up. I played out my hand and drove home here. I paid the sitter and went to bed.
I think he's telling the truth.
Why did you only report
Huh?
your wife missing this morning?
I thought she would have called up last night from the bar.
Thanks for answering our questions, Mr. Terrellson. You'll need to go downtown to identify your wife's body.
I should have taken her dancing.
In my experience, Mac, if you give in to broads, you'll be giving in to them your entire life. Sounds like the Terrellson broad had her last drink at Barron's Bar. We should check the place out.
Appreciate your time, sir.
You believe this guy's story?
Kind of rings true.
Believe he blocked me like that.
Goddamn drag racers!
Drag racer.
decide between the tuna fish and the chicken.
That's that cop. Seems like a decent guy.
Gents, drink?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD.
I'm Benny Clough. This about Teresa Terrellson?
Yes, it is.
I heard about it on the radio. They're saying it was that Black Dahlia freak again? God damn it. Yeah, I rang that husband of hers. The babysitter said he was out.
If you don't mind, we have a few questions. What time did Teresa leave?
Around 10:30, I think.
We don't have
Dang
time
it.
for you to make guesses. What time was it exactly?
Hey, give me a break. I don't remember it to the second.
Who was she with? We've had reports about a tall, gaunt-looking hobo. He wasn't here last night?
I get plenty of bums in here, but nothing to fit that description.
The likelihood is that whoever she left here with killed her. Give it up, Benny.
All right, 2 creeps were all over her, promising to take her dancing.
You get a good look at these guys?
Sure. I got a good look. One of them was a sailor in uniform. His cap said, USS Indiana.
And the other man?
The other guy is Richard Bates. He's sitting in the back right now. Red polo shirt.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Clough. We'll take it from here.
Hey, no problem.
This is Bates.
That's him.
LAPD, don't make me chase you, shitbird.
I knew it.
Can't let the son of a bitch get away.
When the hell is the food gonna arrive already?
Bates! We just want to talk.
There he is. See him?
Come on, gotta get in and drive. I thought you were gonna leave me there.
Who knows what this guy will pull when he's cornered? We could have a killer on our hands. I don't think the killer would be kicking back in the bar where he met the Vic in.
Listen, a creature of habit is your killer. For some reason, they're sticklers for routine. Phelps, you gotta get me closer. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out. Keep it steady, and I'll try to bust his tires. Let's end this farce. Now is not the time to play around, Phelps. Spin him out, Cole. The road's wet. Let's make this guy wish he had to run. Ram him, Cole. All right, you got me. I've had enough. Show me your hands.
Okay, Bates. You're gonna answer some questions.
I have a choice in this.
Last night, you went drinking with a lady in the bar. Now she's dead, and your face is all messed up.
I'm in the clear on that. She preferred a sailor. You could lay it off on him. Are we finished?
Do you want my partner to sap you? Tell us what we want to know.
She was okay. Drunk. Pissed off at her old man, wanting to go dancing. I thought I'd ply her with a few drinks and get my end away. Looks like your salty had the same idea.
So what happened when you left the bar?
Sailor boy laid one on me. A cheap shot. After that, I don't know.
You've done time, haven't you, Richard? Is that why you ran?
I'm on parole.
On what offense?
Sexual assault. Look, I was lying there on the sidewalk. He flags a cab and jumps in with the broad.
We're taking you in, Bates.
How come?
Just for a chat. Nice private chat. I'll explain my theory of once a degenerate, always a degenerate.
Take him to Central. He's a material witness in a murder case. Find him a cozy cell.
Richard here knows the drill.
Where's the phone? And then around the corner.
Are you drunk, mister? Or are you just cracked?
That price is outrageous.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Thought I was seeing things.
Talking about on the radio? Want another commendation?
Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
Any messages for me?
Just a second. You have one new message from Lieutenant Fleischer. Bartender Benny Clough reports victim Teresa Terrellson last seen entering the yellow cab number 3591.
Can you have an APB put out on that vehicle? We'll need all sightings relayed to car 11K.
Sure, Detective. All radio dispatched now.
Were there any incident reports filed in the vicinity of Barron's Bar on North Boundary Avenue? We're tracking a sailor who was involved in a fight outside the bar.
I can check the reports, Detective. I have a message for you from Captain Donnelly. Message reads, James Jessup, U.S. Navy able seaman, has information relevant to your case. Jessup is currently being detained at Central Station.
Could be our man. Thanks, man.
Excuse me.
I'm out of here.
That hill won't buy me something nice. I'll find someone who will.
Car 11K, we have a response on your APB regarding yellow cab number 3591. The vehicle has been identified at a gas station. Now heading west on 7th Street.
Garage on 7th Street. Let's hit it, Phelps. The cab driver might tie this whole thing together.
I hope you're right.
You see our taxi anywhere? I get the point.
It's weird how their car came to
11K, yellow cab number 3591, sighted at the corner of Wilshire and Whitmer. Repeat, Wilshire and Whitmer, 11K.
Where's that cab got to now?
LAPD, we're investigating a murder.
What's that got to do with me?
The fare you picked up from Barron's Bar last night. What was the woman wearing?
It's a green dress. Oh, don't tell me something's happened to her.
Tell me about her.
She was with this sailor, and he was all over her.
She wasn't having any of it. Said she just wanted to dance. But he had that look in his eye.
Where did you drop them off?
It's at the Crystal Ballroom.
What time?
After midnight. 12:30? Something like that.
Thanks. You've been a big help.
Well, that's gonna ruin my day.
Okay. What building is that? Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm stuck in traffic now.
Oh!
Yeah.
It's him. The cop from the papers.
He's in interview 2.
Thanks. What do you make of him?
Sailor on furlough who looks like he's in trouble and knows it.
That broad has socks in it, Brazier.
Detectives Phelps and Galloway. We know why you're here, Jessup, so it would be best if you answered our questions truthfully.
I don't want any trouble. That's why I'm here. I heard on the radio about this lady getting killed. I got leave from my CO to come down straight away.
So why did you kill her?
I didn't kill anyone. Look, you need to believe me.
Let's start at the beginning. You went to Barron's Bar. What time did you arrive?
I got a 24-hour pass. I got there around 7.
That's where you met Teresa Terrellson?
Sure. We had a couple of drinks.
Just, clues. I can use that.
You're lying to me, Jessup. I think you weren't having much luck and you decided to take it out on Mrs. Terrellson.
That's not true. What makes you think I wanted to hurt her? I'm John Paul Jones, but I'm no heel either.
You had a fist fight with Richard Bates over Mrs. Terrellson.
You met the guy? He's a creep. You should take a look at him for this.
He's pointing the finger directly at you, Jessup.
I only had one night before I was back in the tub. He had all the time in the world to look for some action. I belted him. I'd do it again. She was better off with me.
Sure. You're a shining example of chivalry, Jessup. If your story doesn't check out, Jessup, we're hanging you out to dry. Can you put the guy in 2 in a cell and inform the commander?
Sure, Detective. Got a message for you. Sighting of your disfigured hobo on Grand between Temple and Sunset. And it looks like the Beau has a record, too. He's wanted in connection with 2 female assaults.
Thanks.
I'm praying that those prints come through so I can nail that son of a bitch.
I get out now.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn thing.
Oops.
3 suspects in the can and 1 on the hoof. And still no hard evidence on any of them.
Really?
11K, go ahead.
Patrolman reporting that Bobby Ross's car game is breaking up at midnight.
11K, roger that. Plenty of time to get downtown, Cole.
It's possible. Have them bring him in.
KGPL, we have Lars Terrellson picked up.
11K, roger.
LAPD, we'd like a word with you.
Save it for
Is this
someone
where
who's
they shoot
interested.
him?
They're fascists. Come to move us on and steal what little we have left.
6 rounds won't get us far.
I need you to stay copacetic, fellas. We need to hold out for the cavalry arrives.
How do we do that?
Like this. Buckshot down, Phelps.
Your disciples know what you did last night?
Share. We need to fight for it!
Get that disfigured son of a bitch and the rest of his acolytes, Phelps.
What can't he do, right?
Comrade Stalin.
Very funny. We'll find out from your personal effects.
Stuart Ackerman.
You're under suspicion for murder, Ackerman. We're taking you downtown.
You can't do anything more to me than what the Japanese have already done.
Kremlin's over here, Phelps. Toss it and see what you find.
Still working, Jack. I'm off to the Lighthouse Club in Santa Monica.
Hello, Jack.
Mr. Benson, this is Courtney Sheldon. He's a buddy of mine from the war.
Well, I'm sure you two will want to polish some old war stories. Good evening, Jack. Mr. Sheldon.
Good night, sir. Take a seat, Courtney.
We need your help, Jack.
I told you I would have nothing to do with that.
I'm fine too, Jack. Medical school's going well. I got a part-time job.
Do dope peddlers need part-time jobs?
We made a mistake and we're in trouble, Jack. A local gangster, Mickey Cohen, is putting on the squeeze.
So hand it over, walk away. What's stopping you?
We had a deal with them that they would dole it out slowly. They said they would supply abortion clinics and doctors, but they've been moving it on to addicts, and they can't cope with the purity.
So your problem is with gangsters being dishonest.
My problem is that people are dying, and that if this gets back to us, we'll all end up in jail.
So how am I supposed to help, Courtney? This isn't the war. I can't just wave a magic wand and clean up your mess.
We want you to negotiate, Jack.
The only thing these guys understand is force, Sheldon. They got to the top back east by proving to be more vicious than the English, the Irish, and the Dutch. They make their own laws. That's the nature of a secret society. For God's sake, Courtney, you want to be a doctor. How can you fight with that?
We are better trained, Jack.
I didn't make it through the war to come back to this kind of shit, Sheldon.
You can't do this!
Doesn't tell me anything.
Looks familiar. Safe bet it'll match the mark under Teresa Terrelson's chin. Ackerman doesn't look like much of a dancer.
That's the guy. I heard he's an honest cop. Now that's an oxymoron for you.
Ah! Got a problem, pal?
Advice?
Let's finish this. Back to the station.
Isn't it the cop who caught the guy?
Wait, where'd the car go? Great.
LAPD, police emergency.
Why do you need my car?
The husband has an alibi, but no real motive other than neglect. Jessup's alibi checks out. Bates is a recidivist. He'll be pulling the same shtick until we put him away for good. Ackerman has history, opportunity, hard evidence. What motive?
We have the evidence. We know she was here. All we need is a confession, and we can charge the bum with murder.
I forgot. There's a tunnel here.
There's people there!
Oh well. I just wish there was an easier way to get to the station.
Yeah, I'm thinking of moving up to a
We're going this
45.
way.
I want to put him down to 1 round.
I say we bust in there and find the goddamn evidence.
Come on, Phelps, on your bike.
Hey, you think those Vice boys get any on the side?
Top of my class back east. Now I'm waiting tables.
Ackerman, you were in the Marines.
How do you know?
The Corps selected big guys for flamethrower duty. That's how you got the burns.
Life expectancy was 5 minutes for a guy in flamethrower detail. What kind of a government puts weight like that on a man's shoulders?
You'll get no argument from me. It was a heavy load.
You feeling sorry for this smelly fuck?
Why did you kill Mrs. Terrellson?
I have no recollection of the people I have killed.
So I'll use intuitions. I only have get 5, but you only can get 5. So all you have to use one of them.
You hate women, Ackerman?
More than you could ever imagine.
How much did you hate Mrs. Terrellson?
I ache to put my seed in them. Afterwards, I have no use for them.
A bus driver dropped Mrs. Terrellson near your camp around 2 a.m. Why did you take her up to the hill?
Which hill? I have many places. I go where I please.
I don't know, can I use that?
You are clearly insane, Ackerman. The state of California does not execute mental patients.
I don't know the names of the women I've killed, but I've killed many of them. Their necks are so fragile.
Stuart Ackerman, I am charging you with the murder of Teresa Terrellson.
A man down on his luck I can abide. But a filthy red who chooses to live outside the rules of society, I cannot stomach. Maybe poor Teresa Terrellson will provide the catalyst we need. I've spoken to the chief and the mayor, and I think it's time we send some men in to remove the godless and send them on their way over the county line. A grand day that will be, gentlemen. And a grand result you have brought me. You two are fast becoming my finest crusaders.
It's 3 stars. Okay, so that was L.A. Noire, the White Shoe Slaying. I got 3 stars this time. I think this is my most vehicular damage that I've gotten. But, yeah. There's like 3 or 4 more cases in the homicide division, so I'll be working towards finishing those up. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.